Oh, goodness. Excuse me. I'm full of life, can't you tell? What's up, everyone? I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual psychoanalyst and teacher, shaman, healer, and seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger god, the first child of God, reincarnated, the dark goddess in the flesh, Lilith. What's up, everyone? In order to keep up with me and know what that card is in front of you, you would have to catch my last video. What I posted in my shorts and my community page. Well, it's happening again. What's that? There's this thing that happens for me during these awakenings that becomes real hard. It's a wave of depression for sure comes with it. What is it? It's a psychological shift. When I shift into a new reality, I can feel this pulling. It's almost like your skin, like your soul being pulled out of your body. It's a real hard detachment. What happens? Something in my mind makes me know that I've shifted further away from people. I feel this internal pull away from people, real far. I used to reach out when it would happen. It's like I feel like I'm being pulled away again, further and further from the norm is an easy way to put it. I can just feel them. They're internal. And it's real heart-aching. It's like, I don't know. It's like being dragged out of a classroom or something. It's like you're sitting there, but you're being dragged out, and it's like a big scene. But it's all just a conscious paradigm shift is what they call it. It's a really depressing feeling. I'll be there. I end up just crying. I feel all alone. I feel like all the work I do just pulls me away. I was having thoughts before it happened. I was thinking about something. I had sent a message to Wolfman a while ago. And I was asking him why he won't let me take him to the light. And that kind of stuck with me. And it's like, I can't win for losing. I can't get anyone to go to the light. And I can't get anyone to face their darkness. I'm just the in-between. I just stay in between all the dimensions. I live in the tree of life. It's like I'm physically here, but not really anymore. I mean, yeah, whatever. But I'm constantly traveling the tree of life, going through all the different realms and dimensions and bringing all the information back. But once I'm here, it's like I bring it, and then it's like, well, now what do I do? Alright, I guess I'm supposed to go back. What I'm hearing is like attracts like, right? And there's no one like me. There's no one that is in between. You're either dark or light. I don't know. I can take you into the dark and you'll discover the light, or I could just take you straight to the light. That's the whole point, because that's where I'm stuck at. And that's where you're supposed to be. But it's just me and the light. So far away from anything human. It happens a lot. I get really, the initial shock of it, it's like being locked in heaven. You're standing on the gates, on the other side of the gates, and nobody's there with you. I usually have a mini one like every Monday where I realize I've done so much work, I set myself apart. You know, it's kind of like these challenges, and like the top person gets to have doesn't get to sleep in the house. They get to go to, they get to have their own little bungalow. And since I'm always the top person, I'm always by myself. I never get to be part of, you know what I mean, the regular people. I think I spend a lot more time projecting on it than really just accepting it. It's very lonely at the top. You're not alone, but it's nothing, I don't know. I'm from the dark. So without anybody that comes from where I come from, there's nobody to relate to. Yeah? Yeah. It just happens. I shift my perception so hard that I'm like, I shift paradigms, shift realities. With that being said, I'm going to look in the Palladians because it's really the only book that I've seen that talks about the realities, the dimensions. And I've already said they're coming through anyway, so my chakra blown up yesterday about it. It talks about it. I've read it many times about the dimensions in the back. Let me see if I can find something. Angelic and archangelic. What are these? Where am I at? Love configuration chambers of light. They teach you how to incorporate all this light through all these chambers and shit. They don't speak, I haven't really seen too much speaking of the shadow. I just feel like the shadow will always be there unless you bring it to the light. I don't know. It's just what I turn to. I just wanted some answers. Balancing your personal shield. Clearing erroneous neural pathways. Told you I was your spiritual psychoanalyst. What are we doing? Neural pathways are minuscule electrical circuits in the brain through which sensory input from life is received, interpreted, and acted on. These pathways are divided into three main sections. See illustration 13 on page 243. Okay. The information on neural pathways in this chapter was taught to me exclusively by the Palladians and in no way implies any medical or scientific source. So when I speak of neural pathways, I speak in terms of etherical images and energy functions as they correspond to behaviors and attitudes. It's not helpful. I mean, I guess we're talking about how my brain works. What happens? You start using a different part of your brain, I suppose. I don't have the science to show exactly what happens, what's going on in there. But it will. I've seen it in visions where they'll put these things on, these testing, equipment, and we'll see it firsthand. What is this? In a clairvoyant session, I saw pictures of pain energy caused by Alice's childhood beatings from her father, to whom she had chronically lied in order to avoid more abuse. Unless she had told him what he wanted to hear, violence almost always ensued. As a young child, Alice had chosen to create erroneous neural pathways in order to survive. What are we talking about? There are three pathways with neural plates in Alice's brain that establish the criteria for her safety. The message on the first one was basically figure out what other people want to hear and always tell them, or you might get killed or badly harmed. The message on the second neural plate was hide your true feelings and act unaffected by other people's emotions and words. The third pathway was programmed with if you're not sure what to say, plead ignorance. Act like you don't know what the person is talking about. The fear and pain in Alice's heart chakra were very intense and had been triggered by lover B coming into her life. Although her fear was completely irrational, it was preventing her from telling lover A the truth. Whoa, what is she caught in? The following is an example of actual experience of clearing neural pathways. The first time I was taught about erroneous neural pathways, I was doing a clairvoyant reading in a healing session. Oh my God. Is that what you call this? I didn't know what it's called. For a client I will call Alice. This woman was in an open relationship and had been living with her lover, whom I will call lover A, for over 4 years. They were both free to see other people and had no need to lie to one another about other lovers at all. When the woman came to me, she was very upset because she had taken a new lover, whom I will call lover B, about 6 months before, and the new lover had just moved into Alice's home with Alice and her lover A. Oh, Alice. Alice had not told lover A about lover B. She was deliberately concealing a nature of the relationship and was in fear of, well, what the fuck? Would find out and leave. As a spiritual advisor, I was of course responsible for recommending honesty, but also for helping this woman get to the bottom of why it was needlessly lying and creating the dilemma in the first place. Why didn't you just leave the other guy? Hold on, let me have a drink of my soda. Why didn't she just let go of the other guy? How do you play off that kind of lie? Fuck me. I'm no good at lying. What the fuck is this? Alright, now we got the basics about her two lovers. Alright. Let's jump down here again. Alright, the pain of Alice's heart chakra were very intense and had been triggered by lover B coming into her life. Although her fear was completely irrational, it was preventing her from telling lover A the truth. Alice was creating lie after lie to cover herself. Needless to say, she was extremely relieved to finally understand why she was doing this and was able to be compassionate. Why was she doing this? Because of the pathways? To forgive herself. She took the tape from the session home and had both lovers listen to it in hopes they would also be able to understand and forgive. No, they walked out. I know this. I know how this ends. When she revealed the truth. Fortunately for her, both lovers were very understanding and forgiving, which gave her a powerful new reference point for safety and truth. Alice also understood that because the pattern was so long-standing, it was also an unconscious habit that would require conscious pattern breaking in order to prevent it from recreating erroneous neural pathways. At this time, the Palladians also showed me one other side effect of erroneous neural pathways. Whenever you tell a lie, whether overtly or by simply not being spontaneously truthful, a small web-like dark energy begins to form around the soul area of your heart chakra. The more you hide, calculate, withhold, or lie, the more webs you create. The Palladians, when pointing this out very compassionately, said, "Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive." This saying, like so many others, have become well-known points of literal truth. Over time, the dark and sticky web around your soul cuts you off from partially or completely from your ability to feel and express your own soul's essence. These webs can be transmuted and dissolved with the violet flame. Saint Germain will assist in this process since he's the keeper of the violet flame for alchemical transmutation. I too have that ability. Really? It's the healing flame. You have to, as a healer, you should be able to have that. What is that? Being able to take in, she couldn't sit here and do this and take that home. We have to be able to burn it up inside of us and return it as light immediately. In order to take something like that, it has to be the highest level of fire, which is violet, the violet flame. This process can also be done on a movie screen if that technique is easiest for you. Then it teaches you how to do it. There's a lot of projections, and it's all visualization. I try to tell you this, and this is where it gets hard for people that don't have an imagination anymore. Most of this is all visualization until you actually see it. You have to see it for it to create, right? You have to create it in your mind. So that's why I don't do guided meditations with people, because first off, I can see it perfectly, But if you are just sitting there and you can't visualize, you can't imagine this, this is not going to work. Like, I don't believe in such things. This is not going to work. If you can't imagine yourself having a conversation with Jesus, then you're never going to actually talk to him. And by far, are you ever going to hear him? So like right here it says, lift your physical hands in the screen and feel the energy of your soul projecting there. Ask Saint Germain to bring the violet flame to help you transmute any webbing. And that's where it is. Visualize violet flames coming from your hands. You have to see this. So when I tell you, and I say it lightly, a lot of the magic works I do, and most magical people, we're working with something that you cannot see. So in essence, we look like dinner for schmucks. What is that? It's a movie. Go to the very end and see what happens at the dinner. You're using invisible forces. People can't see when I'm creating energy. They can't see what I'm doing in my hand, but I can. I can see it. And that's where it is fuck. Visualizations and the projection of energy and, you know, using it like a sound fork. Do you know what a sound fork is? Probably don't. It is a tool for working with energy. You can't see energy, but yet there's a tool for it that only the highest practitioners can use. If you can't see what we're working with, then, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say, is there's tools for doing this, but again, it's beyond your seeing. It's not in this 3D. You have to be able to see through your third eye into the other dimensions to see this type of work. So as I said earlier this morning, I created a pentacle or a pentagram, and I sent it at them full of justice. What did I do? I took my hand and I drew a pentagram, drew the star, circle it around, circle it, pull it up into my hand. You can't see it, but I promise you, and not right this minute because I haven't focused it, there's a fucking pentagram in my hand. You can't see it, but another practitioner would have saw what I did and can see the energy, which was what? It could look all different ways. In my case, it should always look like fire. I'm throwing fire, but you can't see it, dude. You can't see energy on anybody or as it moves. So let alone if I'm creating it or I'm doing something with it. And that's what it is, you know what I mean? A lot of my energy work is I'm using my hand to move it like a turning fork. I'm moving the energy with my hand movements and my mantras, right? I'm doing that. And then I will choose where to put it, right? And what to do with it. And pretty much it's just cleaning it up. Imagine a fork wrapping up some spaghetti. Pretty much is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? A lot of that and stuff. But you can't see this kind of shit. You can't start using magical practices without even being able to visualize, you know, have the visualization, which it lies within the imagination. I tried to ask a lot of people how they prayed to the devil. I was trying to figure that out. How could you pray to something that's not real? How can you access something that's not real? They have imagery. They have these pictures of what the devil looks like, and they picture this image, and they visualize themselves in this place contacting this being, and this being speaks back to them. Is it the devil? I don't think so. But just like the angels, they have to take a familiar form. This is the form that you contacted the Dark Lord in. You visualized he would come to you in this form. So as the shape-shifting ability that we are, because we have no form, naturally we would come in such a form. But that's how it can be, is like with energy, is you don't recognize that there's spirits in the room. Because you're waiting for someone to walk across the room. You're waiting to catch a glimpse of a human being. You don't realize that there's spirit in the room. All kinds of spirit. You're looking for a form of it. So anyways, I don't teach you that. I have a lot of books that teach you how to have these visualizations, but this is where you have to dig deep into your imagination. And if you don't have And that's what you shouldn't have, is you really shouldn't have an idea of what Saint Germain looks like until he comes into sight. You're calling him in to see him. If you're calling from your heart, then they show up pretty fucking fast. And that's what it is. Are you going to see them in the real world? A holographic image, a ghost, a silhouette, not smoke, but a spirit form. Holographic in the sense of you can see through it, but it's there. They're there. They're there on top of your vision of your 3D. They stand before the 3D, or sometimes they pop out in it. Like I was inside of the spiritual store, and they said the same thing, Ganesh, but we found out it wasn't. It was a baby. It was a child of Morgan. I was like, there's a child in here. There's a child spirit that's popping out. Meaning what? I'm in the door, and I can see the rows of books, but on top of the rows of books, I can see a garden of trees, and there is a small spirit that keeps popping out behind the trees. You can't even see the trees. All you see is the rows of books. Why am I seeing trees? Because that's what this was before it was a store. I can see the land. Not what it is now, but what it was. I see all of that, and that's how I do earth healing. I can see the land and what happened on the land before this building was ever built. You can see things playing out here. They put a building on top of, you know what I mean, memories, but the memories are still there. The footprint's still there. Really? Yeah. So you can't see, and that's what it means to be on the other side, to be on the both sides, to be in the in-between. I'm in between it all. I can see it all. Really? Past, present, and what you consider future. It can't be the future. It's only the future because you haven't experienced it, but I assure you I've already seen it. So that means it's the past. If I've already seen the future completely played out, and all of us know how this ends except for you, then it's not a future at all. The future is unknown. What happens after that? That's what I can't see. Can't see till that last moment. What? The last breath. I see that I cross over. I see that they're there. And you know what I mean? I take the breath, the body falls, and we're standing there, and we start laughing. It's the last moment I can see. I can't see past that moment. It's the last moment. What happens? Something new. Something that's not predicted. Something that's not written. Something that's never happened before. Because if it was just a pattern, I'd see it. The future is certain. Because it's not the future. It can't be if it's so certain. If it's already done. We're just going through the doings. How does that work? I'm not sure, but here we are. I can't tell you how it gets done. I can just tell you it's done. And I'm always confused as we're going through it that it's not, I still can't see how this works out. But it's done. Really? I mean, I can see, you know, as I build up my priesthood, I can see how this all plays out. You know what I mean? I didn't understand when I was making those videos that it would be a documentary. I didn't understand, you know, the pieces, and that's what it is you can look back at it and see what it's building up to. And then you can see the end of what it ends as. And that's just really it, is the journey. And, you know, if you knew all of it, then where's the fun in any of it? And that's what keeps you calm, is like, I've seen this, it's over. It happens no matter how you want it, dude. I've seen the end of this life and how it, you know, how it ends. I couldn't tell you all the turns we take to get to that end. I could tell you that I've seen that end. And if it's the end, that means it's not the future. It means it's the past. Really? Yeah. But that could just be me in the Dark Goddess form because, you know, as the Kali, I'm the keeper of time. As the Isis, I'm the keeper of the Akashic records. I keep all the secrets. Come here, let me tell you a secret. So, as I say this, you know, who was Saint Germain? I think it was... Fuck. Hold on. I gotta pull my Archangel cards. I'm not really going to. I'm gonna pull the fucking... guidebooks, because I'm seeing him in 2 different guidebooks right now. I have him in the... He's with Amethyst. You always keep an Amethyst for Saint Germain. But there's something else. Hold on. Because I have him in a Crystal Mandala, too. I have him in multiple cards. And he is part of the Purple Flame. Obviously. Hold on. Here it is. So I'm going to look in here. And these are specifically the ones where you'll meet your angels. Each page of these has a guided meditation where you have a visualization. They tell you how to picture them and what to picture and how to experience it. They guide you through a visual experience that you do in your own meditation. I did it the first year. Don't do it anymore. Let me find out where he is. I know he's in the Purple Flame. I just don't know what page that is. Black, Russell, green, turquoise, yellow, mellow yellow. Alright, Violet Rays, 89. No. Where the fuck is he? White, silver, golden, rainbow, diamond. Hold on. What was I looking for? What's his name again? Germain. Alright, hold on. There's a lot of them in here. Why am I not seeing him in here, though? Because he goes by a different name in here is what my spirit's saying. So then go to 26. The 11th ray. I mean the 11th suit. Sounds right. 26. The 11th suit. What page is that? Could be Germain, because there's the purple rays. Let's start with 84. I went to 83. I was pretty damn close. The third eye, let's see. Germain is the mercy of God. He's from Greenland. Raziel is the secrets of God. He is associated with the Kabbalah. Jewish high priest. The violet ray. Zadkiel, I think it's him. The great alchemist Zadkiel means grace of God, righteousness of God, transmutes limiting beliefs. Yep, Master Saint Germain. So he teaches you freedom and transmutation. 26. The great alchemist Zadkiel's name means grace of God or righteousness of God. He is the angel of freedom, benevolence, transfiguration, and forgiveness. He helps release negativity and transmute limiting beliefs and thought patterns so that we can live life of freedom. He begins with holding ourselves in forgiveness, and in a similar way, working with Germain, having mercy for our own shortcomings. Zadkiel can help us see a higher perspective and rise above the ideas of the right and wrong, good or bad, and see every situation in our lives as great blessings and lessons. He helps us free our outdated victimhood or guilt and transforms our lower thoughts and emotions into loving and hopeful wishes and prayers, guiding us towards inner bliss. His message: free yourself from limitations, imprisonment, and the illusion, for no one can imprison your heart or mind. Choose to feel free and allow any perceived blocks to dissolve. Then there's the guided meditation. Over here it says, true freedom is found within. Humans often create challenges for ourselves, but no one can take your joy or freedom from you without your permission. I asked Wolfman a series of questions. And I asked him that. Hold on. Something about that. Have you ever felt joy? Like the Christmas feel? I asked him that. The kind that you're so joyful it makes you cry. And then I asked him, can you cry? Do you cry? There's things that it takes to be in the light. And as much as I asked him those questions, they're very difficult questions for the rest of you. Interesting. Where'd they come from? I don't know. I don't really talk to him like that. I just send him shit. I don't really ask him questions or talk to him about shit. I just talk shit to him, to be honest. Just being honest. Sometimes that permission can be subconscious. If you feel stuck, hand the experience you are having to Zadkiel, asking him to release any pain and unforgiveness from your heart. There is a powerful Hawaiian Hana prayer, or I don't know how to pronounce it. Hana or Hanu, I don't know, prayer of forgiveness that you can say to yourself to keep with this process. It's called the Ho'oponopono, I don't know, prayer. And it goes like this. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Hey, I had a moment today when I had lunch. I sat and thanked God. I was very grateful. I thanked him for all sorts of things before I had my lunch. I just sat here thanking him for all sorts of things. I don't pray before meals. I don't pray before bed. I don't pray. We talk. And it was just a moment, something different. Closer connections, I suppose, where I just reached out. Thanks, God. Thank you for everything. Not everything. I listed everything. But, I thanked him. Okay, there's that. And then I'm going to go into the crystal mandalas, and I'll find you a crystal that goes with it. Let me see. Saint Germain. Metatron, Melchizedek, Michael, Barbello. There's your Archon Barbello. It's Jasper. Remember that? He was connecting with the Archons. Alright, anyways, stay on track. Raphael, Bathiel, Bacon, Serapis Bay, Jesus. Come on, Saint Germain. 27, Amethyst, 129. 147. What did we get? Mother Mary. These are really good for you to learn your ascending masters, your goddesses, and your archangels, and know how to connect with them through the crystals. Really? Yeah. I can tell you. You can walk around telling everyone you know Reiki. Stupid asses. I went to Kanyen. What the fuck? That's not what we're looking for. Ascending Master Saint Germain. Spiritual connection. We bring you the healing or the blessing of spiritual connection. There are times on your life when you will feel alone. He heard me. They know when it's happening. They watch. That's all they do is watch. That's all they can do is watch. They can speak if you're listening, and you can speak back with them, but they can't. Really. Pac can do some shit. I've seen Pac do things that I didn't think they could do. He can manipulate the real world. He can be part of it. I've seen him. Really? Yeah. And then you think about Diddy. What's going to happen to Diddy? In the very beginning, Pac came out and I mediumshipped. I was seeing it. Pac had shown me all this hip-hop history. And I sat there and I made this video and I told all about it. And he said he was going after Diddy. That it was in the money. He said that the whole thing was hidden in the money. And here we are, 3 years later, dude. As soon as he's done with Diddy, he goes for Dre and Snoop. He said they were next. He said they were up to something similar. Really? Yeah, something about sex trafficking or something. I don't know, some kind of fucking... What's the word you're using? Escorts. Some kind of escorts. Yeah? I mean, they're nothing but men, right? So they're trying to look cool for other men. So what do they do to look cool for other men? You can only provide them with money, drugs, or women. I'm not sure. We'll find out. His big plan will be revealed. And that's why Marshall was told to get the fuck away from them. Did he listen? No, he went and performed with them. It's like, Jesus, you performing monkey. I don't know, whatever. If you are working on an issue or going through a challenging time, don't feel particularly supported or that others understand, even though they may love you, then that the sense of loneliness may increase for a time. Or perhaps you will wonder if you are I can't read. Why? My eyes are real light. Or perhaps you are wondering if you are spiritually connected as you could be. Perhaps you have been asking for confirmation of your divine connection, or for some sign that you think you might be divine guidance. Excuse me. Give me a minute. I'm having a hard time focusing on this, on the 3D. What is it? I just see, I guess, the galaxy. I don't know what to call it. Stars? I guess. I don't know. Alright, or perhaps you wonder if you are as spiritually connected as you could be. Perhaps you've been asking for confirmation of your divine connection, or for some sort of sign that what you think might be divine guidance is genuine. This oracle comes with a message. You are capable of conscious spiritual connection, and that connection is growing in power every time you talk to the universe through prayer or any act of devotion. You are also being asked to release any barriers around your heart and mind so you can allow the unconditionally loving voice of the Spirit to be heard in your heart and soothe your mind. That's what's going on in the very beginning of the awakening anyways. Even though the heart is asking for some shit that the mind is just totally throwing a fit about, it's just your mom asking you very kindly to, you know what I mean, to do some good, to do the right thing. It's not like a screamer like your mind that's just, the inner critic that's very mean. It's just your heart nudging you. And through your heart, that's where all these connections are. I don't hear them in my mind. I don't hear voices in my fucking head. That's not how it works. I don't hear voices outside of my ears. It's a heart connection, dude. That's why when I speak, I laugh and stuff, because I don't know what's going to come out. It's coming straight from my soul, but as well as I'm connected. So it's like, the songs and the stuff like that. It's like I can see them and then I'm saying their words. It's coming out. It's a oneness. It's a connectionness. And it's all from the heart. You know what I mean? There's all real connections are heart-based. It's not based on words. That's you and your animal. You don't need to keep telling her over and over how much you love her. You show her without speaking. And the dog does too. Do you know what I mean? It's a heart-based connection, right? It's like your heart is telling you, you look at your dog and it like pops its head to the left, and your heart tells you what the dog is saying to you. And you talk to the dog. It's not like you heard the dog in your head. The dog doesn't have a voice. Your heart told you what the dog could possibly be saying to you as it's looking at you. And you're like, oh, you want to go out? And then the dog's like, yeah. And that's what it is your heart knows. It's a communication. And I'm seeing this funny time. It's like you can hide these communications, but you can't. I'm seeing Tree. I released my album. I'd been locked in spiritual, like in hermit mode for so long, and by, the universe just let me out. I was so excited. I ended up at the studio, and almost all the artists that I worked with on this album just happened to be there. They were doing their own thing, but it was cool because I was like, able to walk in and be like, I released my album, so it was kind of congratulations. It was kind of a celebratory moment. I didn't have an actual release party and celebrate all my hard work and all of that. But as we're sitting there, I'm having a conversation with, oh God, it's embarrassing now. I'm having a conversation with Hannah and Raj. We're sitting on the couch together, all three of us. And it's embarrassing to say right now, showing him a picture of Bobby. I'm like, one day, we're going to be together, and we're not going to be a fucking threesome anymore. We're going to be a whole square. Right? And I say that, and I'm looking at the phone.
Be square.
Right? And I look up, and there's Tree, and he's sitting in the chair over by the computer, and he's looking straight at me, and he's looking at me. I can see it in his eyes, bro. He's got that I love you look. And I'm like, I catch a glimpse of it, and I'm like, huh? No way. And and as soon as it happened as soon as, I think, if his energy didn't shift the room, mine definitely did. It was a shock energy right after. Because next thing you know, I'm like staring at him. It's all quiet for a minute, and I just stare at him. And then all of a sudden, everybody starts moving. They start coming, they're coming out, and everybody's high-fiving, and everybody's leaving. And I'm just sitting there like, what just happened? And then I look up, and I notice he's leaving. And he runs to his car. And he knows that I saw him, dude. He knows. He's running. He knows I saw him, bro. And I come out, and I'm like, hey, what was that? And he's got his, I'll never forget it. It was the last one. It stuck in my head. And he's got his hand over his mouth. And, like, he's like, he's putting his hand on his shoulder and his mouth into his, cupped into his elbow. He's like, nah, nothing. It was nothing. I was like, nah, what was that? He's all, nah, you're tripping. I was like, nah, what was that? He's all, no, I'll see you tomorrow. I gotta go. I was like, for real? He's like, yeah, I gotta go. And everybody was leaving, so I just figured nothing. I would talk to him about it the next day. Yeah, we talked about it. He denied all of it, but it was there, bro. I would have never said nothing. I would have never. He was all just, I just looked up, and he's just like giving the, I love her. He's like looking at me with like the so much love in his eyes, the way he is staring at me. I'm like, huh? And I'm like, nah. And I'm trying to dumb the shit out of this. No, it's not what you saw. And then the Holy Spirit starts showing me. It starts showing me all the things I wasn't paying attention. You know what I mean? The little fucking, the little jokes about, hooking up with 40-year-old women, and all the times that, you know what I mean? All of these things, and people accusing us, and all this. I'm like, nah. And then they're like, go look at his face, his Instagram. And then I saw him in a different way, and I was like, oh no. So going back to this, the universe never shuts up. You just have to be really quiet to hear it. And that's people too. They're saying a lot more than what their mouth is saying. If you get past the words that are coming out of their mouth, and you just quiet, if you could put the mute button on and just watch them, you get a lot more of that conversation than what they're telling you. It's extremely observant. But in the essence, your spirit's telling you. You're very psychic, you just don't listen to it. Your spirit's telling you. You can walk it, you know what I mean? You can walk past somebody and just make eye contact, and your spirit will tell you something about that person. Like either what they're thinking or something that you just like, huh? It's constantly, it's reading them and giving you information about them, just like your mind is. Your mind is reading them and giving you information, which is judgment. Your spirit's telling you the truth before you jump to false judgment. It happens all the time. You can actually read it. You could look at a person in their face, so you could like totally see what they're thinking. You're like, you're up to no good. Oh, you got an attitude. Oh, you going through some shit. Oh, your dad broke, your boyfriend broke your heart. And that's really what it is. It's like, what made you say that? I don't know. I'm just talking shit, I guess. No, you know. You just don't know where it came from. And it didn't come from your brain. It was louder than your own thoughts. It interrupted your own thoughts. Yeah, those heart-based conversations. All right, let's see. You will have different ways that you can best tune into your strongest spiritual connection, and what works best for you may be different from another. You may that's what I told him. I was like, dude, I could introduce you. I was like, I'm in between. I could introduce you without going anywhere or doing anything. Really? I'm an amplifier to everything that's going on inside of you. All I have to do is help you tune it. What am I? An electrical outlet? Just being around me fills you with electricity. Now, if you're filled with a lot of negativity, well, you get a little fried out fucking with me. If you're typically a positive person, then you're super coked out fucking with me. You're filled with energy around me. You're literally taking mine. I'm giving it. Energy harvesters. I'm literally just nothing but light. It's like being next to like the oven when it's on. It's giving off heat, bro. You don't have to crawl in it to get warm. That motherfucker's giving off heat, and that's me. So I can't wake you up. I wish I could. But I can definitely shoot energy through you that pushes all that shit up. I can light up your chakras real fucking fast. Really? Yeah. Just being around me, you'll start to feel very anxious. You'll start to feel all kinds of feelings just being around me. Let alone if I start to focus energy into any of your chakras, or if I was to touch you. Really? You may tap into your soul's into your spiritual connection through meditation, dance, being in nature, relaxing, or switching off your mind with exercise. I do all of that. Through prayer or creating art, music, or some other offering of devotion to love and life. What is being affirmed through this oracle is that your spiritual connection is established. It is considerable, and you have the ability to tune into it in this lifetime. Bro, music is one. I'm gonna put my headphones on. Sometimes I don't even have nothing playing through them. I forgot. The music stopped so long ago, and I'm still in meditation mode. Anything. Go outside. Easily. Light something. Take a bath. Do anything. Stare too hard. Don't stare too hard. That's it. That's called scrying for witches, where they purposely... What's the fucking crystal ball for? Is there anything in it? No, it's a clear crystal. It's a clear ball. Until you stare at it, and your third eye starts to create images inside of it. Why? Because you can't see them outside, so you project it in. It's kind of like Thor and the hammer. You can't see the electricity, so you channel the electricity into here. If you want to see an image, so you put the image in here, because you can't see it outside. Again, whatever makes you feel comfortable. That's what happens. Yeah, there's nothing in this bitch. There's nothing in here until you focus on it and put something in there with your mind. You focus and make it. As you can see, I dropped it quite a few times. How many times? A lot. It's heavy. And I do stuff like that, and then whoosh. I'm just saying. It doesn't... You put your power into it. It has no power. Same with, like, the Bible, or, like, you know what I mean, the crystals. They have no power if you don't believe in them. It's just a crystal. You don't know what it is. But for those of us that know, we know not to touch it, and we know the power that's radiating off of it. And we know if we believe in it, you know what I mean? That's what it is. It's like, I can pull out one of my mirrors, and you don't, it's like, oh, what are you going to do, fix your lipstick? No, I'm going to let a whole demon out of here, stand back. Are you going to see it crawl out of the mirror? No, but I will. And so will it go, so will everything else that can see the other side. Be grateful you can't see what I see. I mean, it's cool, but you want to close your eyes and make it go away. It's like, oh, you're still here. You're still here? Oh, man, how do I make this go away? Nope, doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. I'm just saying, there's all these great gifts, but, you know, with great gifts comes great responsibilities. Why are you standing here? What are you trying to tell me? What do you want from me? Why are you here? You see dead people? I'm tired of that saying. They're a live spirit. They're dead to you. You forgot about them. They're totally alive in my face right now. What is being affirmed through this oracle is that your spiritual... You are asked to rely upon your spiritual connection unconditionally and ask for help with all things in your life. And that's what it is. When I crawl in bed and I'm like, oh, I'm all alone. There's Pac. Shorty, keep your head up. And that's it. It's like, oh yeah, you're still here. At least you're here. You'll be here, right? I ain't going nowhere. Alright, cool. At least I'm not alone on this fucking godforsaken planet. Godforsaken. And, you know, and the universe is out there. I've had times where I've gotten real deep and they had to, like, literally pull my astral body out and set me at the table. I call it the table. What is it? They call it the Galactic Federation of Light. It's a space station within, but outside of our atmosphere. I don't know. It's like, it's not that far. It's like putting your... it's like putting your toes into outer space. They're not that far, but you can't see them. It's a reality. It's real, but it's not part of your 3D reality. It's right in front of you, but you can't see it. Anyways, that's where they make all these great decisions of how to fuck us up down here. And I've got pulled up to that table before. I've been sitting in, you know, it's where I can't get out of my mind, and they have to pull me out of it. Like, are you okay? Have you forgotten who you are and what you're doing down there? Yeah, totally. I was lost in my mind. It's like you wipe the tears off. You're like, oh yeah, I'm not human. And that's that 12 Monkeys thing, bro. That movie 12 Monkeys. It's like, oh fuck, I forgot. I'm not. This isn't my reality. Sometimes you get so caught up in it, the feelings of it. It feels like it's the end of the world, bro. You've had to have had at least one of those times in your life since you were a teenager where you're like, oh my god, this is the end of my life. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, you know, one of those? You know, where it feels like, for whatever reason, dude, it feels like everything is about to end. It is the absolute end of you and your life. And then you wake up the next day and it was never even that serious. It's just, you gotta move out of your apartment or something, or you lost your job, or you got dumped. You get so deep in this in the emotional wave of what you're experiencing that you don't realize it's just a fucking experience. You take your life so serious. I mean, don't get me wrong, protect your life and shit, but you take it too serious. You don't realize it's just a simulation. Really? There's a reason they call it the Matrix. It's just a simulation of your mind. When you start breaking down this construct of what you think life is, it's not that serious. You take it too serious. You take it to the next level because, you know, and that's just the way we're programmed. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? Never give up. You have to work hard. Keep going. Don't let nobody hold you back. You got this. And then they send you out with that attitude and you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You just know you're never supposed to give up. And you got this. Fuck am I doing out here? That's like the basic fundamentals is work hard for everything. Be successful. Don't be a quitter. Make sure you don't get fat either. That's like programmed in all men and women. Don't be fat. Don't be fat. Don't be fat. If you come into the game fat, you already failed. It's like, oh, that was my favorite part. She woke up and he's trying to tell her, like, they got her some clothes and they don't fit her. And he's like, you used to be pretty big. And then he's like, oh, come on. The first time was, you know, he's just making up these memories to her. And he's like, the first time we had sex, she's laying on the couch. She has no memories of her life. She's like, I'm a fat whore. That's what I am, huh? That's how I sit here. I'm like, so this is what I was, huh? I was a fat whore, huh? According to them, that's what they told you your life was all about. They put it in some shit-ass words and told you this, that, and the other. And you choose to believe it. You have to watch the movie. What movie? It's called Overboard. It's with Goldie Hawn and her fucking husband, Kurt Russell. It's a really good movie. What happened? She had amnesia, dude. He had done some work for her and she treated him like shit. And then he saw on the TV that she was in a mental institution and they were looking for someone to claim her. And they were about to call CPS on him because he didn't have no one to take care of his kids. So he decided this is his great idea was to go get this bitch and tell her that she was his wife and mother and make her play wife and mother. And she's just laying there like, this is what I am, huh? This is what I've done with my life. That's how I woke up. I'm like, so I'm 40 years old, huh? I got 4 kids. This is what I do, huh? These are my underwear, huh? This is my life, huh? Wait. I don't like any of this. Fuck this. I'm not living this life. This is stupid. I don't want to live this life. She clearly wasn't happy living this life. This is a terrible life. I'm just saying. Welcome to the Spiritual Awakening. Alright, anyways, there's nothing, wherever. You are asked to rely upon your spiritual connection unconditionally and to ask for help with all things in your life. There is nothing too small for in allowing your spiritual connection to assist you in resolving the small, apparently insignificant everyday matters more swiftly. You free up vital energy to deal with bigger tasks on your divine life journey. And that's where I am. I'm not worrying about a job and money. God, I need money. There, it's done. Well, he's going to ask me what for. And that's what I teach the kids too. What do you need money for? I want something. What's the something? I'll get the something. I'm not giving you no money. That's how God works, kind of. The other day was really cool. He really blessed me. It may be stupid to you. But I didn't have coffee in the morning. So I go to the store and I need to get coffee. But instead, I want tea. And I'm like, why did you do that? You didn't even buy coffee. You're not going to want fucking tea in the morning. You always have tea. Why didn't you get coffee? Jeez, I really need some coffee. I'm going to have to come back. I need coffee. So I'm walking back, and as I walk in, there's this huge donation of all different kinds of coffee. I was like, that was cool. And that's just really it, is like, if I tell him that I want something, he'll give it to me most of the time. That was my thing I posted before I got on here. Men act like I want too much. People act like that. You want too much. All I want is something real. How is that too much? I don't want shit. I don't want shit from you. You're putting all that fucking extra on me. I didn't say I wanted you to get me a car or a house or buy my kids nothing. I didn't say shit. I said I wanted a connection with you. Why does it have to cost you so fucking much to have a real, truthful connection with me more than one day out of the week? A long-standing connection, like every day we become friends and we talk every day and forever until we die. You're probably going to die first, but I'll be there when you die, and on the other side. Just being honest, you're not going to live as long as me, and that's a good thing. I'm not boasting. I'm not very pleased with the fact that I signed up for a 100-year life, but according to my daughter, there's a lot of 100 years. In the essence, do you think you're living that long? Moving on. But that's it. It's like, I'm not asking for shit. I don't want shit. I don't want shit. That's why I sit here content as a motherfucker, because I don't want shit. And when I want it, it's given to me. Like the other morning, I didn't have no weed. I really didn't. I was like, all right, I planned it out. I'm going to go to the dispensary. And then I went to go to the dispensary, and before I went, the dude was like, here, and he gave me a whole blunt. Oh, thanks. You gave me exactly. I didn't have any. But it wasn't even then. I didn't have any all morning. So it was like that want was being heard louder and louder to where they were going to answer it before I answered it. Here, we got you. That's nice. I mean, I went and got me a bag later, but that's just the point. And then, like, today, I was guided, no reason in particular, to go and replay my lotto ticket. Right? I just have a lotto ticket. They check it. I replay it. That's all we do around here. But she checked it, and it was a winner. But she couldn't replay it. I was like, that's weird. Why can't you replay my ticket? Give me back my ticket. Anyways, so I won the lottery, too. Why? Well, I keep saying that. And that's what I say. I say it, I'm going to win the lottery. And then I do. But it's not the full lottery. But it happened. When I say it, it happens. You're not taught that. You're taught to run out there and work hard and work for what you want in this life. By your blood and tears, you'll be successful. You can do it that way. Or you can do it God's way. And you might not be rich, but you'll have everything you want. Everything you need. I mean, maybe if I wanted more. Maybe. If I wanted more. But I don't want more. You learn not to be so wanty. I don't know where it comes from. Where it's like you don't need anything. Like, you could say part of it is even logic. It's like, if you think about wanting something, you like, nah, I don't really need that. Or you think about how far it'll go to fulfill that want. It's like, nah. And then if you really did want it, somehow it just magically appears later. Really? Yeah, stuff just does. If I say I need something, all of a sudden it just pops up. Why? Because the universe is listening, and it's there to provide your needs. It wants to be your provider, which is God. It's not like that simple, but it is when you're in devotion, you know what I mean? When you're seeking God in all things, then naturally you're surrendered all things to Him. You surrendered all your needs and wants to Him. So He now is responsible for your needs and wants. And that's where you start to give Him that power. It's like, say for example, you've got a bill that's coming up and you're stressing it. Instead of walking around saying, I don't know what I'm going to do, start saying, I don't know what God's going to do, but it's going to be good. or God's going to do something. It's been heard. This is your responsibility now, God. Now don't get in the way and let him work. One thing I can tell you about timing, divine timing, I always say this and offends people, he waits till the last goddamn minute. Because that's when it's due. It's not due before that. You don't do the test until the test is due. You stress the test until the day of the test, but you don't do the test until it is due. And even then, sometimes, say you have a phone bill that's due on Friday, and you've been waiting for him, and all day, he doesn't give you the money before Friday, and you're tripping on him on Friday because now it's Friday and you don't got the money and you know it's going to get kicked off, and you start having a fight with God because you failed me. You might have that fight where he teases you. He might turn off your phone for fucking with him, but then he'll come through. He never expected you to go, you know what I mean? He never expected you to break in your faith and not trust him. He always had a plan to take care of you. But you might not trust his plan and go take care of your own problems. And then he'll just keep his money in his pocket. But he had a plan. He always does. And the thing with the phone, I've seen it happen. I haven't been able to get a hold of Morgan for a couple days. A couple days before that, as soon as she moved into her house, her daughter broke her phone. She said she can't make any outgoing calls. Right? So it was working for a couple days, but then now it's been 3-4 days. I have not been able to talk to her at all. And I know it's just her phone's fucked off. Why did God do that? He does that. I've seen it happen to all these girls now, where he's taken away their phones. Why? Because they're using them as escapes. They're wasting too much time on them. They're using them to connect with things that he's trying to take them away from. So he isolates them by taking away what? Their connection. What do I do if I get real pissed off at my kids? I take their phone. They know I'm serious now, and they better get their shit together because their life is on that phone and they need it back. I don't do it all the time, but that's when it's serious. Give me your fucking phone. That's it. You're going to sit there. Oh, yeah, there ain't shit to do without your fucking phone. You really got to sit there without your phone. So something like that, you know what I mean? I've seen him do that. It's he needs to disconnect you to connect you. Really? Yeah, stuff like that. All right, let's move on. From parking spaces to overall timing for your day, for assistance in all ways whilst traveling, for helping in making good choices while shopping, to inspiration for better relationships and in matters of finance, health, and professional development. Divine guidance will help you in all ways with one purpose, to help you reside in the frequency of love and truth. Sometimes there can be a fear about opening up further to spirit, and that's where people stand back and they're like, you can't live like that, you're delusional. I've got 3 years of proof showing you that God is real in my life and he pays the fucking bills. It works. It's not about me being a bum, bro. Trust me, that's not what this is. You have to have watched the whole story to see it. But he's real. And fuck my life, go look at how he's working in someone else's. You see that they just keep catching breaks. That's something. Their archangels, their spirit guides, their fucking grandma keep saving them. Somehow they keep getting fucking saved. Somehow they make the fucking bills every month. Somehow they've always make it happen. Somehow these fucking crackheads always manage to pay the bills. You have to believe it, and that's what Jesus was trying to tell you, and that's why everyone walked away. They walked away from everything because they knew he had everything that they needed. That they no longer needed to hold on to these things because he could give them better things. He could take the worry away for needing them. Really? It's literal, but you have to literally take the actions and belief and faith for it to work. I don't know how you guys can't get this. And this is what I said to Wolfman. It's like, how come you haven't met the light yet? Why are you running to every form of darkness? Are you afraid to meet God? Are you afraid of the judgment of other people because you've been in the dark so long? You're forgiven in God's eyes. I don't know why you don't want to go in there. But The whole Bible and the whole thing is about walking in faith and trust. That's where real magic comes from. It doesn't come from you. You don't own magic. God is magic. He provides magic. He is the magic that flows through your veins. That gives you the ability to create to begin with. If you give back that power to Him, you can see Him work outside of you. But going back to it, like, people get on their hands, their knees every night and pray faithfully to Him. And they believe. I'm not saying you have to do all that. You know what I mean? Religiously repeat your prayers every night just to make sure that they're heard. But it's like they really do believe something, you know what I mean? They want to believe that God is hearing them and that He's going to answer their prayers. When they get on their knees and they ask God to protect their children, to help them get off drugs, to help them have a baby, to help them pay their bills, when He's asking them for, I mean, I don't know if we're going to have enough food, and I don't know if, if so-and-so's health is going to be okay. They're pleading to God in faith. Some of them, their faith is much stronger, where they can walk like me and say they know for certainty that God's got this. And that's the peace in believing in God. You have to believe it to see it, though. And that's where people on the outside, they're like, there's no such thing as God. You can't see Him. He doesn't have a form. But for those of us that know how He works, we see Him work every day. And that's what I try to show you. And I'll be over here, damn it, God! Damn it, God! God. I talk to Him as you would consider a real person. Not Jesus, I speak to Him too. Jesus is not my God. There's God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. So there's God above us, there's God inside of us, and there's God outside of us. God lives within us, bro. He's not at a fucking church. He's not like that person's your godly, the Pope. He's not your God. He doesn't have a closer connection to God. He might hear God in his heart, but how can he hear Him when there's, you know what I mean? Is he meditating? You know what I mean? In the essence, and is he delivering the messages of God? Does he really hear the sounds of God like I do? Or is he just guided by the Holy Spirit? Does he know the Father and the Son? Or is he only guided by the Holy Spirit? And that's just kind of what it is like I'm trying to get you to understand the unity of it. But you have to believe in some shit that you can't see. But once you start believing it, then you'll see it. And again, what does God look like? He doesn't have a form. You see Him working in everything, bro. When somebody fucking goes, and you're in a drive-thru, and the person paid for your food in front of you, that was God, bro. God told them to do that. Not Jesus. Maybe they were Christian. They got a feeling that they needed to do something good. That was God. For sure. Anything. When that person lets you in on the, when you have your blinker on and nobody else will let you in. That was God. That person is showing the attributes of God. Kindness. They're putting themselves aside for you. That's God. That's what made Jesus God. Don't be a fucking doormat. That's not what we're talking about here. It's not it, like looking for brownie points. I'm the best person. I'm the nicest person. I'm the kindest person. No. That's not how it works. Not at all. Alright, let's go on to your connection here. Sometimes there can be fear about opening up further to the Spirit. You may want it and fear it at the same time. If you've heard the message or someone has told you something they believe has come from their spirit worlds and it makes you feel bad, if you see, feel, hear, or are told in basis in fear in any way, it's not from the higher spiritual worlds. Genuine divine guidance is loving, and anything that makes you feel disconnected from love or that causes you to feel bad about yourself is not a higher guidance. And that's it. Do you go to church and they make you feel bad? Are you around people that make you feel bad? And that means not that they're bringing you down with their words, but just in general by their energy. You were feeling real good until you sat at this table, and now you're kind of bored and you just can't wait for it to end, and you're really drained and you just want to get away. You just really want to leave this fucking energy, this table, this situation, this room, this function. Yeah, you're around negativity. It's what's filling you. You're feeling it. It's bringing you down. Let's see. Where are we at? It's not higher guidance. The fear of opening up further to spirit can be so deep that you don't realize it's there. You attend development classes and work hard to perceive spiritual connection, and yet frustratingly, it may not come through as clearly as you would like. And that's what Jason Bourne was talking about. He worked really hard to invoke spirits. He wanted to see them. He wanted to see them. He wanted to capture them. He wanted to ask them questions. Why? I don't know. Because he knew he could. He heard that people did this. And so they want to. And that's what Wolfman's trying to do. He wants to capture a moment with the spirits. Come here. That's what I told him. Come here. They never leave. Which one you want to talk to? I mean, seriously, you don't have to do drugs. You don't have to travel to some ancient lands and eat some dirt. Sit right here, hit the joint, fucking turn on some music and watch this. Watch this. You're not going to believe this. And that's really what it is. Why would it happen around me? Because you already know that I'm around spirits, so you're already open to the experience. You come near me with the understanding that I am spiritual, so you already see me as mystical, so you're already open to a mystical experience. I'm not really going to do anything mystical, but you've already opened the channels to possibilities, so now it can happen. You feel safe for it to happen around me, so it allows for it to happen. And that's what they do with these big old meditations and ceremonies. They go into these huge, ceremonies and ritual acts to allow themselves to be an open channel to connect with the spirits. Supposedly these fake-ass tarot readers think they do it with their cards. I'm tapping into the collective. As he closes his eyes, you can't see the collective, bro. It's part of the trick, right? Stick your hand in the hat. He wants the power, and that's what I told him. I told him something. It's not in your brain. It's right past your thoughts. This all happens right past your thoughts when you're not thinking, when you're not trying. It happens. You could spend your whole life trying to chase aliens and never ever see one. But if you're just open to the experience and you sit there, I wonder if I'll ever see one. That would be cool. And they feel that from your heart, then they'll show themselves to you. Because your heart just wanted this experience, not to harm anyone, just to experience it. Really? Yeah. But if your heart is if your mind just wants shit, that's not how that works. Okay? Okay. Perhaps you will feel like the only person who doesn't get something while others seem to have connection you envy. You may feel like spirit has forgotten you, or you're not important enough to deserve attention, or that there is something wrong with you that you cannot receive as you wish. I feel like that is probably Wolfman's problem. He sees someone like me that has full connection, and then Gary was on live telling him how he had shamanic connections. He could see, you know what I mean? He could see realities being played out, and I think he envied it. I want to be able to see that shit. Well, then stop doing so much. It's not at a place. It's a person that can see it, not a place. These things happen all the time. It's a state of being, bro. Nobody asked to see this shit. It's a gift. And everybody has access to these gifts when they pay the price. You gotta, you know what I mean? Where did mine come from? Sacrifice. Pretty much. All of those reactions and frustrations are understandable. That's another thing too. People envy my ability to manifest. Did you understand the difficulty of trying to make it right? I mean, yeah, you just don't understand you're already manifesting. You haven't learned that yet, right? And then there's most of you that aren't. You're just working hard at something you want. You're not actually, you didn't manifest a vision in your brain of something you couldn't believe and now are pursuing it. That's not the truth. At all. But they are not reflective of a higher truth. Your spiritual task is to be kind to yourself. Be with your feelings and complete the following healing process as often as you feel you need it. Know that fear arises and that it can arise even in those working consciously with spirit for a long time, testing them to trust and open up even more so. You are releasing a barrier between you and spirit. You never need to be ashamed of your fear. It has been conditioned into bodies over lifetimes. It can take a little while to clean it out of the soul. Fear can be stubborn stain, but the divine has all sorts of tricks to dislodge it. Spirit wants to connect with you just as much as you want to connect with it, even more. You are so loved. Set aside any frustrations with yourself, and that's where you're expecting to have. You're doing this for spiritual gifts. That's what pisses them off. It really pisses off fucking spiritualists that I have all the prophetic gifts. Hey, motherfuckers, most of these I had before I became spiritual. I got them from being a Christian. So don't fuck with me. Go to the light and you can get a lot more power than the dark. Alright? Number 1, 2, and 3. But secondly, it pisses them off because they don't have them. They've been doing this for years, all their life, and yet here I come. Alright, well, all that power that you're trying to fucking harness was already put in me since the day I was fucking created. So the power that you look for is, I'm trying to tell you, within you. And where is it? In your feelings. You go through your feelings. You're denying your power, bro. You can't do this. You can't serve two gods, is what it was said in the Bible. You can't. You either stand with the spirits or you stand with the fucking people. You have to choose. It's always the choice to be made. And, and I said this, the day would come where people would get so upset. I don't know what manifestation means. I don't hear the spirit. I don't know what anything that she's talking about. No. You won't hear it. You won't see it. Deaf, dumb, and blind is what the spirit says. You won't be able. Why? Because it's not it's not in your mind. It never was. If you can't open your heart, then you can't connect. It's a heart connection. If you have a hard heart and you haven't started working that out, you're not going to be able to. And the more work I did on my heart, the more I connected to higher levels of light. That's how I met the Ascending Masters. I was only with the fucking spirits, and then the angels, and the archangels, and then, came the Ascending Masters, then came the fucking aliens, and everything else. The more you open your heart, the stronger the connection becomes. But in order to open your heart, you literally have to go against your mind. And that's literally walking away from this world. You must Job yourself. Give up the things of this world for the things of the unseen. I don't know. Or don't. And just don't sit there mad because you don't have it. That's the whole point. The whole point of this is, don't do it. If you don't want to be spiritual, then fine. But don't be mad at people that are, and don't hate them, and don't try to call them crazy and all this shit. Because you didn't take the time to learn tarot. Tarot's for real, bro. It tells the real truth, dude. I could do the same thing in the Bible, but you don't understand the words. And that's it. It's like you didn't take the time to learn, so now you think everyone that does tarot is a fraud. Okay, first off, they read it a little funky, and I don't read tarot like they do, but it was meant as a divination tool to help your soul heal and ascend. Not how they're using it, but we all learned the same meaning of the cards. And that's just what it is like, you're mad because you don't know how to skateboard, but you've never bought a skateboard or fucking fell on your ass. You're just a hater. Oh, they're not that good. Oh, they don't have that skills. Oh, they don't, the. That's what I mean. You're on the sidelines mad, but you never even fucking laced up and tried. That's all I'm saying, bro. And it's not to be condescending to Wolfman, but you're not going to get this the way you're doing it. You won't. You can space your mind out to have those altered, conscious connections. But until you just leave the consciousness, you're not going to have a full connection. And as I say that, it's like they say, same thing with your love life, bro. Until you stop fucking women, you're not going to have love. It's not like a seance at the fucking, on Halloween at a fucking graveyard. It's not like a once-a-year thing where we go to, celebrate the dead. Being connected with the spirit is the spirit of all things. It's not limited to your grandparents or something like that. It's not limited to one deity that you pray to. It's not limited. That's the mind that limits it. I knew from the very beginning that I was dealing with something far more. There was far more that I was dealing with than just Christ. And I used to say it, these must be somebody else's gods or ancestors. There's far more that I'm dealing with than just Christ. Set aside any frustrations with yourself or the divine as you realize that even if you don't see or hear as some other people seem to, Spirit still talks to you every day. And that's another thing too. You guys like the music thing? I can see that. I'm seeing Lunar Eclipse Tarot. She went and got some oracles that are musical oracles so she could tap in and get messages from the songs. I'm not trying to. It just comes in. And a lot of these things they envy, but you don't want to be the person that's hearing this. You don't want to go up to people and say you talk to dead people. You don't want to just start singing songs and the fucking walk and as you're standing in the fucking aisles of fucking of stores, or when you're standing behind someone at a cashier, they say something and you start singing at them. They're wearing a t-shirt and you start singing at them. It looks cool on camera, but it's not cool in real life. I'm a bit of a fucking freak. I wish I could talk. That was since the beginning. They envy your connection to God. Are you fucking kidding? Come here, I'll introduce you. I'll leave you here with him. You talk to him while I go for a ride. Are you fucking kidding me? But I guess if you've never met God, I guess the Pope's really going to be interested to meet God. Hey, come here. He's got some words for you, buddy. He's been talking about you for a minute now. He's got some words for you. I am your messenger, God. Really? Is he talking to you the way he's talking to me? Because I don't think so. That's it. It's like, the dead people. I guess. I don't just get to go up and ask them. I mean, I did DMX. I asked him why he didn't like Drake. But I don't just go up and, ask them questions. I wanted to. I wanted to ask Carl Jung questions, but the conscious is already in a body. I could only, get the information from, the whole conscious, the soup is what we call that. What's the soup? I guess that's what you call the Akashic Records. All life information put into one pool of water, where you could just stick your head in there and see it all. That's where I'd be in, the soup. I don't know. We call it the cauldron of life. They call it the super consciousness. I don't know. It's where all of our life ends up. All of our experiences end up in this cosmic conscious of knowing. Everything that we learn, we take to the big knowing. We take all of our knowing and put it in there, so that all the knowing is in one place. Really? Yeah, know it all. It's all there. Yep, that's where we get all the information. Can you see the signs, numbers, white feathers, the song on the radio that seems written for you, the books that you are drawn to read, or the oracle cards that keep popping up? Spirit loves you so much, and it has created all these ways for you to hear its loving voice in your heart. Will other ways open up for you in due course? Yes, of course. But even now, your spiritual connection is already real. And that was like Michael Jackson, bro, in the beginning. Jesus Christ, talk about annoying. I mean, I didn't see him all the time. He would just interrupt my songs or my video all the time. You were not alone. How many times? Every fucking video for like at least a year and a half. Multiple times throughout the video. How long would he say it for? Forever, bro, until I would remember it. And that's where it is. It's like, even when I feel like I'm all alone, I'll hear that fucking voice. He kept saying it over and over and over, because during this time I feel completely alone. And all I can hear is him screaming it for fucking ever. I'm like, alright, I know I'm not alone. I can hear you. I know. And that's why I always make jokes. When you get in there, Michael Jackson's in there. I always make jokes because I promise you're going to hear him in there. There's no way. He's the frequency of love. There's no way you can't hear some fucking Michael Jackson tune. Even if it's Thriller, Beat It, something. You're going to hear it in there. Pretty much. That's what I always said. But, you know, I didn't always see them always. Not like, you know what I mean? That became way later, where they're like, oh God, like blink. They're not going away. You're not going away. You're not going away. You're not. I could see Puck. I'd get annoyed. I would see him sitting in my car with no t-shirt on and his shoes on my fucking dashboard. He's not really there, but just the simple fact that you ain't got no respect. You're just that comfortable. You just put your feet up on my shit. That's how we sat. I'd sit in my car, and he's sitting right there next to me. I could see him. I could see them walking up. I could see them doing things. It didn't start like that. It became like that. The conversations became later. The jokes came later. You know what I mean? It builds later. It builds. You know what I mean? The more open you are to acknowledging they're there. And that's where I'd be like, what's up, Pac? You know what I mean? I acknowledge they're there. It's like, oh, you see me? Oh, let me say something. Oh, now you see me, huh? Yeah, I see you. And that's where it is. It's like, okay. Not every dead person that ever was comes to talk to me. I'm the Lilith. I'm the highest level. You have to go through him to get to me, in essence. It's like, oh, they want to talk to you. Who are they? Kobe, who the fuck are they? What is this? What am I looking at? Really? Yeah. Comes later. Let's see. To grow it more, set aside every time every day, at least 2 minutes to speak to it. Imagine it as your daily phone call to the Divine Mother. During the daily divine time, talk to the universe. You need, and that's why I'd be like all day, Holy Spirit, you're killing me. You guys are killing me. When I don't know exactly who it is, and it's just jokes and, you know what I mean, stuff being poured into me, I'm like, all right, Holy Spirit, you're killing me. You are killing me. You don't need special words. Just tell the universe aloud, if you can, what you would like help with and what you are grateful for in your life. And that's what I did earlier. I just told him I was grateful for a bunch of shit. Healing process. To integrate this guidance, you may like to say the invocation now. I'm going to invoke this spirit in your life. If you don't want this spirit in your life and you're scared of me invoking a spirit to be in your quiet space with you, then go ahead and log off now. I call upon... All right. By the power of the dark goddess in me, I call upon the crystal angel of amethyst and ascending master Saint Germain, who loves all unconditionally. Thank you for the divine healing and blessing of spiritual connection. May the fullness of their spiritual connection be consciously known to them. May they be inspired by spirit daily to connect, to talk to the universe openly from the heart. May all beings know the extent of their spiritual connection and the depth of love that spirit holds for them. May peace enter the world through their spiritual connection. Hold on. Assisting the plan of love and light through divine grace and their own free will and my own free will, so it be. Here's another one. Where was this one going to be? On your crown chakra. All right. We choose of our own free will through this and all lifetimes and all layers of our entire beings to release any experience, memory, or associated belief system connected with spiritual abuse, manipulation, feeling of disconnection from the spiritual worlds, feeling of being abandoned by the divine in any way, and of being harmed, humiliated, or criticized in any way for our spiritual connection. May the healing power of the loving worlds of divine grace cleanse us completely now and restore our full vibrancy from our spiritual connection to the higher or for our spiritual connection to the higher guidance. Through divine grace and unconditional love, so be it. Bow your head and say this. May divine love, my heart chakra is hurting real bad as I'm saying this. May divine love awaken the fullness of spiritual connection in the hearts of all living beings. According to divine compassion and in service to the great divine plan of love unfolding, so be it. And your affirmation to say out loud is, I trust and rely upon my spiritual connection unconditionally. It is safe for me to be fully open to spirit, to receive unconditionally loving and uplifting messages that are truly helpful. I say that, Puck, you're not helping. He's always helpful. It takes time to build that connection. Again, I didn't invoke them. They came in and never left. And I just got used to them, and we started to build on it, conversations, friendships, and now it's a full trust. No cards are no message from no guidance is ever gonna make me worry, because I know they're there. I know that God has sanctioned them to be my guides and my protectors through this life, and I don't have to worry. I know that that is their job, and they take it serious, and they will never fail me, because they have the power of God to do such things. Really? Yeah. Now, as I said this, it's like, do you guys believe Jesus is dead? He lived and he died. He disappeared in the clouds, like they said 2,600 years ago. 2,500 years ago. Sorry. He's dead. You'll only see him when you die. That goes against what the books say, you guys. You're kind of full of shit. He has risen in the hearts of all. He lives within us. He speaks to us. Those that know his words, that know his teachings, that know his lessons, that know him. This morning I took the little girl. She rides with us every morning with my son. Gosh, she's such a beautiful girl. She had this really pretty pendant. It was a pink, it was, I assume, but it could have just been pink plastic. I didn't touch it or anything. But it was a little Buddha, and it looked like it was made out of rose quartz. And I was like, Buddha's a great energy. He's just a happy energy. You know, Jesus teaches you about kindness. Buddha is joy. They're different. They have the same rules, and but they're different energies. Still part of God. One's, you know what I mean? One's compassionate and kind, very motheringly. The other one's joyful and silly, very childly. Really? Yeah. Both wise, beyond our time, but are they dead? The bodies are, but doesn't the spirit live on? The spirit of Christ? Isn't it alive? Or only around Christmas and Easter? And if that's the case, how do you feel it on Christmas? How do you feel the Christ spirit in Christmas? During what actions or what you're doing do you feel his presence? During Christmas or Easter, when do you connect with him? Is it through the church that you feel connected to Christ or God? Or is it that they guilt you into having this? If you're not there, you're not connected. But while you are there, do you have a connection? Or just being around the people that serve him makes you feel connected? I'm not here to make you feel bad for not having a connection. I'm here to give you one. It's never been taken away from you. It's just in your beliefs. It's one of the first part of the awakenings. Once you go into the moon, which is your mind and your energy, your mind and your emotions, and then you move into Mercury, which is starting to talk about that. You know, your mind and your emotions is your angels. Your communications is your archangels. And then you move over into your heart. Then you're with your principalities. You're with high levels of God beings as soon as you start doing this. When you start taking actions, You're way the fuck up there with the fucking dominions that force action on humanity. You're in with the angels, bro. You're doing angelical work when you start doing the angelical work. People that left their life for, to go become Buddhists or Hindus or even Christians, Catholics, Muslims, when they left their lifestyle, they were going into something they didn't know, but something that they believed would make them happier. They don't usually come out of there. They stay in that. But they have to make a sacrifice, you know what I mean? When you go from being a party girl and being this and being that, and then, you know what I mean, you make the conversion, you convert into spirituality or into religion, you give up a lot, but you gain a lot. You gain a new life in Christ, is what they call that, you know what I mean? You gain a new life, but it costs. You got to come right. You got to come right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you go for a job, for this job, you can't be showing up in your fucking, your Friday night fits. You got to put on a bra and a t-shirt when you show up to this one. You got to come right. Which means you got to sacrifice all the little mini skirts and put on some work pants and some non-slip shoes. It's the right protocol. You got to do what's asked of you. You got to wear the suit of honor. You can't be out there in your stripper wear. You have to strip your wear. That's funny. I'm glad we brought this up. I don't know. And that also is reminding me in these moments to lean harder. And that's what I have to do. When you don't have anyone, you have God. That's what's supposed to be your best friend. Yeah, maybe your spirit guides. They're really supposed to be close to you once you get that connection. But the connection is always supposed to be with God. And however religiously you connect, you know what I mean? Everybody prays to a different form of God in a man form, but it's, that's what you're supposed to be doing is when you feel all alone, you go with God. When you're happy, you go with God. When you're hungry, you go with God. You go to God for all things. Make God your God. Make him the most important person in your life. Because he's not a person, but make him, you know what I mean? Put him above all things, and he'll take care of all things for you. It's all taught in the Bible, and people are like, it wasn't supposed to be literal. Then how come I'm literally doing it, and it's literally working? And they literally call me a witch, and I'm magical. And I tell you, it's God. Let me tell you what God did for me. Let me tell you what God did. I tell you when I manifested, which means I thought this up. I thought this up. I made this up in my head, and now it's in my life. I show you that. But who brought it to my life? God? Did I do something here? How did I bring it in? Other than turn up my vibrations, turn up my heart, and send out a frequency. And that's what God said. Send out your prayers and wait. Okay, I believe you. And that's what I mean. I don't gotta worry. I believe in the magic called God. And the magic that Jesus said we had inside of us. You know what I mean? Which was what? The gift of discernment. That means psychic. Right there alone. The gift of discernment. The ability to be guided by the Holy Spirit. How are we guided? It's a Holy Spirit. How do we guide it? We see it and we hear it. Mary was a lunatic. Paul was a lunatic. Everybody that heard the voice of God was a lunatic. Or I'm the lunatic. You're a lunatic. You say that because you can't hear him. All you can hear is your thoughts and what people told you. Take those out and you'll hear God. I'm here to help you with that. And this made me feel better, actually. Because, again, that's what it is like the closer I get to him, the further I get away from you. But that's where we're supposed to be. We're never supposed to die on this earth with each other. We're supposed to rise to God's kingdom together. I can teach you either way how to get there, but you've got to get there. And really, there's only one way. And that's going down into the pits of your fucking heart. You have to clean off your wicked heart to have this heart connection again. You have to take it off. Which is what? You need a lot of forgiveness, bro. That's Jesus all the way, bro. What other God taught you used their whole life to teach you forgiveness? Buddha taught you how to meditate, bro. He told you how to be still. Jesus told you how to forgive, bro. Nobody was better at it, and that's the power you really need. You need people to forgive you, or at least for you to forgive yourself, so you're not walking around with the fucking shame of whatever you might have done last summer, or when in your 20s, or, whatever you may have did that you can't lift your head up no more, and you feel condemned and shamed and unlovable. You need it for you, but also for the people that you make feel like that because of their fucking mistakes. My mom was a piece of shit. Bro, your mom was your mom, bro. Stop talking shit. My mom wasn't as good as your mom. Was her mom as good as that mom either? Come on, bro. Forgive her. My fucking boyfriend fucking cheated on me and treated me like shit. The whole time? He didn't never love you? He didn't never make you feel special? Or he couldn't keep that act going forever? And now he didn't never love you? I'm just saying, bro, it's so much forgiveness is needed in order to do stuff like this. And yeah, once you hear them, they never shut up. Really? They're louder than anybody that's talking in your face. The spirit is louder than anything I try to tell you. You can see it in all things. We'll talk about the synchronicities tomorrow. Hey, I love you guys. Welcome to the awakening. Laters, haters. Oops, we didn't even read that card. Next time.